this band? I like this band. I wrote it down so I don't forget who they are. Oh, I remember. Fucking Slayer! Here we are. We're back. Metal Horror Madness. Metal Horror Madness. And you want to talk madness? You've seen death metal in your lives. You've seen the generic death metal with zombies and aliens. And I love it all. I love it. It's great to me. But there's a band out there. There's a band out there with the most unique concept. I would say when you think of New England death metal, you've gotta immediately think of Frog Mallet. You've gotta. I freaking listen to Frog Mallet. I pull out my Frogger NES game. I start playing at supersonic speeds. I start talking to the frog. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the top of the heap for New England death metal, the mighty Sean McDermott from Frog Mallet. How we doing, Sean? How we doing, buddy?
Dude, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for that great intro. That's awesome.
Hey, dude, well deserved. Thank you for the visuals. I'm looking at a green frog in the back moving around. He's got the green microphone. We need more of this in metal.
We got the branding.
Dude, you are the branding. Let's get right into that. Where the hell did this concept come from? There is no one like you out there.
Well, during COVID, I was in a group chat on Facebook with a bunch of metalheads that we've been around for a few years.
Yep.
And at the time, it was called the Big Frog group chat. Went through many iterations, different names for whatever reason. And that was the name it was at the time. And, man, it was time to slam. It was time to create a project.
Nice.
And we decided to make a project about frogs, me and my buddy Griffin. And we did it. And, I mean, frogs are cool. It was a good theme, you know. I feel like most bands, yeah, they're zombie themed, they're horror movie themed, and that's cool. I love it.
Yeah,
but
same.
How about bringing a third element into that? You know.
Yes. Yeah. How about an element nobody saw coming? Nobody. I've watched plenty of Kermit the Frogs in my life. I've been around frogs. I love frogs. Who doesn't like a frog? But to take and incorporate into some of the heaviest, most technical death metal there is, dude. That is crazy. How'd you get into music in general? How did you get these ideas? It seems like your riffs come from just another. I mean, maybe they're amphibious. Maybe you're a frog. I don't know what's going on. Is this an alien frog invasion? I got to find out. You'll tell me, right?
Yeah, I mean, I got into music from a very young age, of course, like anyone else.
Yeah.
My dad always loved the blues.
Nice.
and Led Zeppelin, classic rock, Black Sabbath. You name it, stuff like that, right? So I was listening to all that, and I'm still influenced by that kind of music.
Nice.
But I wasn't super into like the heavy metal stuff all the time. It was more as a kid, it was more butt rock. And then I found like Avenged Sevenfold.
Nice.
And then I went heavier from there.
That's the thing too, right? That's the nice thing with this genre is like, and people have heard me say this before, but it's like, just let people listen to music because you're eventually going to get into these heavier things, but you can't start there. Because if I started, could you imagine if we like started with Cannibal Corpse or something? I'd be done. I'm like, I ain't listening. I don't even know what they're saying. I don't want to know what they're saying. It's so extreme. I have a similar path like that. The classic rock, that seems to be that gateway for all of us that gets us in there. And definitely, like I said, with your skill set, you hear it in those songs for sure. You hear there's a lot of stuff and a lot of layers going on, man. Very talented.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I'm influenced by SpongeBob music. You know, like I just grab something here and I'm like, can I make this into death metal?
Yeah.
You know, and I have fun with that. You know, rather than being influenced by other death metal bands, which I also am, of course. But you know, it's better to grab from somewhere else and try to make it work.
It's so true, and and I agree with you too because it's something we don't talk about. And usually, everybody just picks on the one thing. They talk about hair metal, right? Look at all these cock rock bands that got watered down, but that happens to every genre we have in metal. Things start getting the same. And again, no disrespect, because I love it all. I love everything that's been done before. I love all metal all the time. But it is nice to take something and go, let's just go so far outside the box. No one's gonna see this coming. Let's kind of branch off from this. I mean, I'm waiting for all the amphibian metal to come behind you. The amphibian metal tour, the Frogger tour. There's going to be festivals. You know what you should do maybe? Do a giant swamp like in the Meadowlands. This is what we do. We get a bunch of bands. You play in the middle of the swamp on a lily pad.
I would love that.
and I feel like you would love that. I do, and I see seeing you guys live is it's something because I see the fun up there. And that's what you want to see as a fan, right? When you're sitting down and watching your band up there, just loving it, how accessible you are. New England Death Metal Fun Time Bonanza, right? With our family up there, all our friends, our Bonginators, Wretched Infernos,
all the homies, yeah.
All our homies up there having a great, all of us misbehaving. I'm like, we met each other up there. We don't remember what we said to each other, but we know we saw each other. We got
that's the guy that says Slayer. Holy shit.
Yeah, I got the picture. I got to do one now. Fucking Slayer! I can't help myself when you invite me to do it. And watching you guys at the festival and seeing you at Ralph's and all these places, you've played all different venues, all different sizes. What's your favorite?
Did you see us at Ralph's?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
You guys with Bonginator?
With Bonginator?
Yeah.
Wow. And Wretched Inferno. Wow, that's awesome.
That's a way back. And is that a venue you enjoy? Do you like your Ralphs? Do you like the festivals? Which one is, tighter for you?
I definitely like the atmosphere of Ralph's. I've only played there, I think, twice. The sound there could be better, but it's all right. It's the room, right? What are you going to do? But the energy in Ralph's, awesome. Great. Worcester's great. Festivals versus shows. I guess it depends. Shows when I'm on tour is fucking awesome. Playing shows every day, man. It's craziness. It's tiring, but we got to do it and we got to have fun and make the best of it. But festivals. I mean, when we can play something really fucking cool like the Bonanza, that's awesome. We played Gulf Coast Death Fest in Texas, and that shit was fucking awesome, man.
Oh,
seriously,
was crazy.
That's where real metalheads were, and I feel like, I don't know, we ride this wave of between death metal and beatdown and hardcore and metalcore, and so we weave around in different shows, but playing Gulf Coast Death Fest, man, that's where the metalheads are.
Oh, that's what bands were on that bill?
They were like Stabbing.
Oh.
Fuck, I can't if I remember. Trash Panda. We toured with Trash Panda. That was on that run. We got added I think the day before we played, because we were just on the way and Trash Panda was playing that, and they were trying to get us on there, but they had no room, and I guess a band dropped, and they're like, "Hey, you guys are on."
Oh, so that's sick, man.
Worked out. Yeah.
That's awesome, and I agree with you. I love the festivals. I love the whole festival feel. I love seeing the bands. I love all the hangs with everybody. That energy that's there, right? And we all look like wild, savage lunatics, but it's a family environment. I never feel safer than at a festival with all of us lunatics.
Seriously, do you go to MDF?
I haven't been. I'm trying to go this year, though.
Dude, yeah, I'm going next year. I went last year for the first time.
Yep.
Dude, it's amazing. It's like insanely huge fest, right?
Yeah.
Everyone, you feel like you're with your family. Everyone's wearing the same bands. Everyone's wearing their own jackets, and it's just like, oh shit. You look around and everyone looks the same. I'm home.
Oh, that's the best, and because that's the thing. We take our heat as we know when we walk into the store, we walk into somewhere where everyone's not dressed like us.
We're the sore thumb.
We're the sore thumb. I went in with my buddy producer Ethan over here, and we went to go see Possessed, Testament and Creator up in Boston. But we went to the bar across the street from the venue, which was in Fenway Park. I walk in, I got the no sleeves, I got the freaking Converse, the shorts, the Slayer sock. I'm going in there. Everybody else in there is like some guy from Boston that's at the pub every day and was talking sports. The second I walked in, I was getting dirty looks. Now, I like the attention, Sean. I mean, it's me, right? I love the attention. Hey, guys, I'll be flexing for you. But it does get annoying. It's so much nicer when we walk in with all of our people, right? And you just know you're welcomed immediately. And New England Death Metal Fun Time Bonanza, if you describe it to people, they would think like planes are falling from the skies, the zombie apocalypse is starting, none of us could function, but you just felt safe because your family was there. Nobody was judging. Everyone was there. Pick somebody up. See if you need something. Yeah, festivals for sure. Festivals for sure. And speaking of festivals, live events, having recorded a bunch of stuff, what do you prefer? Do you like laying down tracks in the studio? Do you prefer being outside, playing, entertaining everybody?
That's a tough one. I mean, I'm as a producer and a recording engineer, I fucking love recording
Yep.
bands more than anything else.
Nice.
As my writing goes, I'm pretty slow to writing lately, and it's been kind of a struggle. But that's all right. I'm
Right.
recording other bands, and I fucking love doing that.
Yep.
I love making people's vision come to life, and just getting the sound exactly how they want it.
And that's what you're known. You are known as the master of all this and the perfectionist for sure, 1,000,000%. How do you get into that side of things, and how do you keep that tenacity? Because I'm sure, as you know, once you start getting better and mastering, it gets so easy to be like, I could just take the easy way out. I could just make this as simple as possible, cookie cutter thing. But you give so much more. So I'd love to know how you got into that side, and then just what keeps that fire burning with each new project.
Sure. I mean, I got into it pretty much when I first started like really learning guitar in like 2014, 2015. I was just trying to uh record myself on my computer so I can
Yep.
show my friends. I could write a song and show my friends, and and my friends at the time were we were trying to create a deathcore band or something, right? And we're all noobs, and I'm the noobiest, but I'm trying to actually make shit happen. And so I'm gonna record a song on my computer, and I'm like, well, all right, how do I do this? So I figure out how to do that. Get an interface. Uh, and so I was recording myself for probably like 3 or 4 years, I guess, from like 2015 to 2018, and then I decided to start recording other people. I started with rappers and making because I was making a lot of beats and SoundCloud rap and uh and lo-fi. And I wasn't very good, but I was really trying, and I knew I loved it. I loved it so much. I loved creating and and getting better, right? Just the
Yeah.
feeling of completion and getting better. Uh, so I kept doing it. Always knew I wanted to do bands, but I didn't feel like I was good enough to do bands until I did. Uh, and then um, I mean, sorry, what was that? What was the second half of the question?
Just and how you keep that fire going. How every time you're doing something with a band, right? It's always tempting for even me with social media. Sometimes, like, well, I could just take the easiest way out. I figured out this formula, bang, 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 but I can't, and I don't feel like you can either. And for me, it's
No
one of
way.
those things, yeah, where I'm always like, as great as the last thing was that I did, and I feel accomplished and appreciated, it's not enough yet, right? I want to top it. I feel like the perfect content never exists until I get there. So that's why I wanted to know, like, how do you keep that in your head where you keep just going?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I try to not look at things like one thing is way better than the next,
Yeah,
because at a certain point, there's a threshold, right? At a certain point, there's just different
true. Good
mixes,
point.
different sounding mixes. I love lo-fi black metal, right?
Yeah,
And those mixes sound like shit.
yeah,
But there's intricacies within that, right? Um, with I take each project as itself, right?
right.
As it is. This is this project. This isn't that project. That project sounds like that.
Smart.
This project is going to sound like this. And I mean, the fire just keeps going. It, if it's a client, I'm working with a client, and they want a super clean sounding mix, and they want time alignment and samples and all this and that. I will do that. I will put in the work and do that and make things sound crazy, insanely clean, because they want it and I can do it.
Right.
Not that's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. And I mean, I personally, I like rawer sounds and
Yeah.
and real drums and getting it right at the recording. I really like pushing people, and when they're in my studio, you're gonna do more than one take.
Right.
We're gonna get it right. We're gonna make sure we're happy with the recordings that we have before any mixing even starts.
That is so sick, and that's that thing. That's that motivation, and it's great when other bands just coming up or people trying to produce or stuff hear these things, hear from people that are successful and know what they're doing, because that work is a lot of work, and you just said it best, where that's not your favorite to do, but you're doing it, so you want it to be correct when it's going that way.
Yeah, because it's what the client wants.
Right.
It doesn't matter what I want.
So
It matters a
true.
little bit what I want. I'll persuade
Yeah.
some ways,
Yeah.
because I know what sounds good and doesn't sound good, and
Right.
and one thing a client might want might not be exactly what they think they want, might be not what they actually want.
Right.
But that being said, it's your project, and I want this to sound exactly how you want.
Oh, that's perfect. And I feel like even with your merch too, like I feel like your merch, it's just everything just has a nice touch to it where I feel like there's just a little extra work that's gone into it. And the Frog Mallet logo for sure.
Thank you. I mean, I polish, you know, I try to make sure everything is as good as it can be, especially when it comes to merch. I'm always trying to get the best screen printers, the best artists. You know, I do a lot of graphic design myself, so I'm able to make things translate really well. And speaking of screen printers, you know, I have let's say 3 shout outs. Forest Passage Printing, incredible, just the best screen printer around. Reality Fade, I mean, dude, great guys to work with. It's been incredible. The merch spread, they hit me up, hey, can we do this, can we do this, can we do this? I'm just like, yeah, let's do it, holy shit. And man, the reception's just been incredible. And the third one, Relentless merchandise, also incredible screen printing and embroidery.
I'm glad you brought this up because I'm getting ready to launch a bunch of shirts and some things like that, and I want to get it right. I like fooled around with some of those like stupid sites where like you go in, you put something, and it was like cheap garbage material, the quality, you know. And I'm sitting there going like, we've got some really cool stuff, so I want it to be I want it to be something I would be proud to wear and buy. I don't want to sell anything, right? That I'd feel horrible if people are buying stuff that I don't feel is good.
Yeah, exactly. It's taken a lot of time and effort and trial, trying different things, different people, different companies, and finding the right ones to work with, because you don't want to put out a product that you're not proud of.
No, and speaking of products, I'm psyched because I just ordered the Frog Mallet hoodie with the purple frog, and I can't wait to wear that because when I wear that out in public, we know the metal moms be coming. Like, I won't know what to do. They'll all be hopping around me, you know? I'll be like, get those tongues out, ladies. Let's go. I got my Frog Mallet gear on. And that thing looks so cool. I cannot wait to get that. Yeah,
that came out awesome. I don't have them myself yet either, but the pictures, man, they look incredible.
Dude, they look crazy. They look crazy, and that's what it's crazy what you're accomplishing in this scene here with the producing, with the music, with the live music, with everything, with the apparel, because it does take a lot of trial and error. It really, really does. And when you're networking, how were you with that? Was that something you were naturally able to just go network with people, or did it take some time to go like, how do I finesse this? How do I reach out?
I think I figured out pretty early on. You just email people. You just message them. You know, they're people. You gotta just realize they're people, and you can. You know, I got all these like crazy features on the first album, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I just messaged Sanguisugabog, messaged on Death, and they're just down. So I was like, wow, that's awesome. These aren't, you know, gods amongst men. They're guys just like me and you.
And I'm sure you know this too. Like, it's not. The best way to go about this usually is not run up to the person, tell them how you worship everything they do. You're a golden god. I can't live with that. Oh my God. Because then it's like, how can you take people seriously like that? Like, I appreciate it. It's awesome. It's fun. And I'm only talking about when an artist or an influencer, and you're trying to get to this next level, just like you said, remember, these are people. They're just like, they were where we were at one point, where we were trying to get into something.
They probably still feel the same as
true.
You. You know, you know.
Oh, dude, it's true, because every time I meet bands or mutuals and stuff like that, you could see both of us, like, the excitement. To your point, people aren't sitting there on this pedestal, and it's because, I mean, we're all putting on a show to a point also. That's what we do. We're performing. So sometimes people say to me, like, wow, he's so chill and laid, but like, guys, I can't be running around hitting on every chick I see, screaming in faces, throwing chairs. I'll be in jail. I can't drink 30 cans of beer a night, every night. Not every night, Sean. You know, some nights.
The Bonanza.
The Bonanza. All I remember about the Bonanza was people just kept coming up to me with bottles. Here, take a shot, take a sip. And producer Ethan was with me like, I'm sorry, producer Ethan, we're not there. You're going to be there this time. I'm getting dirty looks now. Calm down. You know my brain. Someone else was with me there, and they were saying, you probably shouldn't do that. And I'm like, I probably shouldn't, but I'm at the fucking Bonanza. I'm in the woods. There's rabid Wolverines watching us. There's scumbags everywhere. My families are here. I'm going to drink.
Baby.
Bonanza, baby. That was so great. I can't wait for next year there. As far as next year for Frog Mallet, I'm assuming you'll be there. What other things
I'd assume so. It's up to Eric, but
Eric, we're coming, Eric. Eric, have the red carpet. Have the green carpet ready for Sean, and I would like a red Slayer carpet ready. We're showing up whether he wants us there or not. We know how to sweeten him up. We know what he likes. It's not a big deal.
I'll still be slinging my merch.
You'll be slinging merch. Yeah, Eric, if we're not allowed there, we're still coming. We're slinging merch. At the parking lot of the trunk. Real old school. Can I sell some of your cassettes? I'll sit out there slinging those too. Just right out of the back, right out of the back of the car. But do you have things lined up yet, or is it too early?
For the Bonanza, no, but we have a tour lined up for January.
Nice.
Should be announced soon. There's still a lot of planning, I guess, to go in with it, but we're gearing up. I'm trying to buy a vehicle.
Nice.
the last 2 tours have been renting.
Yep.
And like that's cool, but at a third tour, it's not worth it. It's like
Right.
at this, I need to buy something.
Something.
Or I'm losing money.
Yeah, have you looked into that? And I know the trials and tribulations. This is what people forget about too with all this stuff. Like they think instantly once you gain traction that everything's all set now. Expenses are down. Like it's like no, it actually gets worse. The more you achieve, the worse it gets. What kind of?
I mean, it's been a slow buildup, of money over time. That's why we sell a ton of merch, right? But we're just letting the money that we do make sit because we gotta buy a vehicle. But we're finally at that time we can buy a car.
Oh, that's awesome!
And then we can come to you.
That's what we're waiting for. Have you seen anything that looks good yet? Are you gonna get a bus like that? I mean, bringing up Eric a lot because Eric is Eric. Eric does things a little unconventional. That's okay.
Yeah, Eric is Eric.
Yeah. Did you think
I love Eric?
He's the best. I love him so much. Again, I love him. I love you. I love Wretched Inferno. I love Victor. Everybody. Just so welcoming all the time is what I love. And I try and be the same way when anyone sees me out there because to our points, it is nervous meeting new people sometimes and you're out there and you don't know what people's personalities are actually like. Everybody's so intense, when we're doing what we do. And then sometimes it's just like nice to see, holy shit, like you said before, we're all just regular people. But a van maybe, a bus,
yeah, I'm looking at a passenger van, like 15, 18 passenger.
Smart, yeah.
Something with not 200 miles on it.
Yeah. Are we gonna have the Frog Mallet logo spray painted on there somehow, or how
I don't know.
I think we're gonna have to just set a fund for that. We're gonna have to help that happen.
Our old merch guys, Griffin, my buddy Griffin. Yeah. He had the Frog Mallet logo on the back of his van. We took on like the first run we did.
Oh, that's sick.
And but he would get recognized. He get pictures of his van taken around something. I don't know if we want to have pictures. Maybe it'll get broken in if there's a logo on it. I don't know.
Yeah, you got to watch. That's true. That's a good point. You
I would love it because I love branding, so I would love to, but it might be a risk.
You're basically the underground Kiss at this point with branding because I see this frog everywhere. Where do you see the thumbnail I was working on for this episode? I have your shit. Everything. It's psycho. It's the way the madman's supposed to be. But it was actually easy because, like I said before, your stuff is also cool. Everything you're doing, you could see the care in it. You could see you're not putting out a product you do not like. And I know you said with the songwriting, and I'm thinking that's what's going on too, right? Like it's coming out slower because you're not going to just rush something and put out garbage. That's not who you are.
Exactly. I'm writing stuff, and man, if I don't like it, I'm just not feeling it. There's a lot of these songs I really like, and then there's a lot of just ideas that I'm like, well, I wrote that riff.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and you keep everything going. I know you had some lineup changes, right? You've had some things go on and things.
A lot, yeah.
What's some advice too because I've seen like the worst thing you hate to hear, and I met some real cool like bands in their infancy, and they'll reach out to me and I'll listen to their stuff, and then like a couple of months later, disagree, and the band's just abolished. It's gone. It's never happening again. How do you just keep saying like, I'll figure it out? This is what I do.
You just got to keep it going. Find new people, through this thing where you meet so many people when you're on the road. Surely you can get some musicians together to play your music, and I mean, there's so much talent coming out of New England. There's plenty to go around.
There's so much talent in New England right now, and we have so many venues, right? We have so many bands coming up. Who are the bands that you see right now that you're like, this one's going to hit the next level? I love these guys or girls. I know this thing's going to slap. They're ready.
I mean, easily Wretched Inferno.
Easily Wretched Inferno, right?
Yeah, I mean, come on. Dude, since I think the first time I saw them it was probably 2021.
Yep.
And I saw them open for Undeath at the Middle East Upstairs. And dude, it blew me away.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, like, are you kidding me? And they were, much younger then. I mean, it's been, I don't know, 3 years, right? Yep. They're still young, but it was like, these are kids and they're fucking incredible. And Will is just the best drummer, dude. It's just, they just have it together. They have it together, and they just got to get on the road more.
That's all they need. They are right there. Every time I see them, I'm like, guys, it is so great. Even at the Bonanza Inside scene, it was just like, holy shit. They are like tearing this. And people, their followers, their fans are frenzied for them. They go insane. And when we were at, I was at the Alchemy seeing them. And I don't know what happened. Somebody had me drop a fucking Slayer as per usual. And they started playing Rain and Blood on there. And I lost my shit, dude. I lost my shit. I couldn't believe they did that for me. I was screaming Slayers. I was hopping around. I was grabbing people like a lunatic. And I was just like, when I saw them when it was done, I was like, guys, just the energy you bring, the attitude. I would swear you've been doing this for 30 years already. I'm like, they have something very, very special. And I said when I had them on here, like, this band right here, I'm like, to me, Death is one of those bands where there's one of them. And I'm like, you're creating that over there. And to your point, once they get on the road more, once they're just out there, it's gonna happen. It's not, will it happen? It's happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyone else that you could think of off the top?
I mean, Groaning Wretch.
Another banger.
A project that I started, but I'm no longer in it.
Yep.
But man, I love those guys, and the new stuff they're writing is fucking incredible.
Sick.
They put out an EP a little while ago, or a split EP with Tar, and that shit's awesome. Infinite Misery, my buddy Rob's band, that shit's sick. It's very Cannibal Corpse sounding.
Nice.
Tunguska, not death metal, but it's a hardcore beatdown band by my buddy Jake and a bunch of other friends. My bassist Anton's also in it playing guitar, and man, that shit's sick. Also, we're recording that here, and it's going great.
Oh, that's incredible. Yeah, and that's the great thing. You have your pulse on all this stuff right here, all these bands coming up, getting ready to go, and I'm sure you hear it in there. And I know, not to name names or anything, is everybody, when you're producing, are they pretty chill on the same level? Have you had any instances where you guys are like screaming at each other and you're just like, this is not the way, or everything goes good?
No, man.
Nice.
No, man. It's always really good. Especially, I mean, I've been working a ton lately with Bonginator. We're doing an entire album.
Nice.
And Eric picked me to record and mix the whole thing. But we're doing it in conjunction. You know, he has a lot of his hands are in the pot.
Yep.
And so we go back and forth and make tweaks and whatever, but no, man, there's no arguing. It's just, we're just making it happen, making the best sound that we can. If we don't like something, we'll change it.
That's what's cool too. And that's this current scene I feel like we have. I think this scene has never been stronger in a sense. Now, granted, it may not be like where metal was in its heyday and everyone complains about that, but I prefer where it is now, because back in the day, that's all we had was egos. Back in the day, we had every type of metalhead hating the other type of metalhead. It's actually so sick to go to these festivals, especially seeing the hardcore and the death metal merging. Dude, that blows my mind, because when I came up in the scene, that was not a thing. Like, you chose a side, and if you went to a venue and both sides, someone's going to start fighting. It was so stupid. It was
it hasn't completely gone away. Of course.
There's still some problems.
It more lives on the internet. You know, people are really opinionated on the internet. But then when at shows, and you're actually at the shows, and there's mixed bills, no one gives a fuck, dude. Everyone's watching. Everyone's having a good time. It's awesome.
Yeah, nobody. It's so true. You don't see that. Everything is on the internet. Internet? What am I saying? I don't know right now. The internet, everybody, it's a device that they use, satellites and such, and you go on there, and these little keyboard warriors start all this trouble. But then you go out to the festival, and everybody's getting along, so it's kind of crazy. How did you react when you started? I don't know. When Frog Mallet came out, were you accepted right away? Were you getting a lot of hatred online? How did that go?
I mean, honestly, it was overwhelmingly positive.
Nice.
We put on Slam Worldwide. People loved it immediately. And then Joseph from Tsunami found it from Twitter.
Sick.
They posted it was like a video of frogs dancing to Gutalax.
Yeah. Oh,
and they were like,
so
more bands like this, please. And then someone sent a Spotify link to Frog Mallet. And then they were like, get us in contact. We'll make their tapes. And we were like, holy shit, Tsunami wants to fucking make our tapes.
Dude.
So our first tapes are real bass shit tapes, but they're real frog shit.
Oh, that's fucking crazy.
and so that was really cool. And of course that opened us up to Silverback Gorilla Records, who heard of us through that because they loved Tsunami. And then they pressed us on vinyl. And then
so sick.
that got, we had a lot of buzz on the internet, and we had some cool looking alt covers and merch already. And man, yeah, people just liked it. As for hate, I mean, there wasn't much. There was like a few hate comments that I had found on like, hey, nice, that's a Barbaric Brutality tape.
That's pretty sick, right? So everybody can see.
Yeah, this came out good. I like those. I like the alt cover, the Pringles.
So funny, man.
I'll touch back up on that in a second, but fuck, what was I saying? The hate, there wasn't much hate. There was a few. I remember screenshotting some like Instagram comments. I think that's really where I found it. Was like the Instagram comment section of the Slam Worldwide posts. People hated it, and it was funny. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really care if people hate it. Like, you can hate it. It's about frogs. People hate it for the wrong reasons sometimes. They'll hate gimmick bands, right? They'll say it's a gimmick band, but isn't all death metal a gimmick?
Every death metal band. I mean, that's what's so funny with Cannibal Corpse too now, where they're trying to cancel all stupid shit. I'm like, guys, this has been going on for 30 years, and do you really think this is the shit they're doing out in fucking public? Like, do you think I Come Blood was a soliloquy about how we should live our lives? Like, what are we doing here? Calm down.
Read some Infant Annihilator lyrics and then reevaluate, because, I don't know, I think you're mad about the wrong thing.
Yeah, true. So true.
But as for the Pringle, I was going to say that the Pringles rip, that's like, there's typically a reason for my brand rips and stuff. I don't just kind of do it randomly, because I don't like when like bands will just take like Pokemon artwork and then slap their logo over it. Because that's lazy. Right. I'll do something that kind of relates. Like the Pringles thing obviously looks like a frog. I made it work really good, but the snare on Dissection by Amphibian was sample layered with a Pringles can. Like I literally hit a Pringles can. Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh, that's sick. That's a fucking deep cut fact right there. That is crazy. Oh, that's sick. And then incorporate into this stuff. And like I said, just keep kissing your ass with the merch, because it's the best merch. It's the sickest merch, man. It's somewhere I want to get to eventually. Everything you do, the color concepts, all the, looking at the different
hit me up.
All right.
let me do the like let other people do the art, but I can do the graphics and just make everything look that much better.
I'm gonna hit you up. I could use the help with it, my friend, because I don't know what I'm doing. Do I look like the type of guy that knows I don't even know how I have a job. I don't know how I have a place to live. Sometimes I amaze myself just by functioning. So
you look like you know how to like fix a car really good.
I can't.
Like a motorcycle.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, exactly.
I can't fix a car. I can't do any plumbing.
Oh, you can't? I think you said you can.
No, dude, I can't do shit. Do you know what a disappointment I am? I can't fix the clock when it's time to change it.
You can yell Slayer really loud.
That I can do. I can yell Slayers and thrash, but anything that matters in life where I can fix or help somebody, it ain't gonna happen. I am pure aggression at all times. I'm witty. I could do little things online, but I have I can't. If water stops coming out of the faucet, I'm done. I'm never gonna drink again. I'm gonna die of thirst.
Anyone can learn to fix a car. Not anyone can learn to entertain.
That's true.
You either have it or you don't.
That's true. The problem with me is what people don't know is aggressive as I am, I like soft hands. I like to be soft. I don't want to be all burly and dirty since I was a kid. Too. So you get it. I don't need to fix anything. Like people always say to me too, like, "What do you ride, motorcycle?" I'm like, "I can't on a motorcycle. I'll be done in 30 seconds." Can you imagine me in there screaming at full speed into like a brick wall? But no, I'm my thing is like you. I like the creativity of creating my content. I've been starting to write like poetry again, stuff people just don't know about me. All these little things I like to really do. I used to write a lot of plays, a lot of dark humor, stuff like that. And even with my content, I'm really a comedy channel. As much as I'm Mr. Metal and I'm full of metal, right? I'm just taking the Slayer fan to a level people haven't seen before, because wherever I go, I'm now comfortable screaming it at the top of my lungs.
It's instantly recognizable, man. It's perfect.
I can't go out without them letting me say it now. Like
and that's what it's about. The wait for it, the Frog Mallet logo. It's instantly recognizable. It's a frog.
That's the way to put it, though. That's the way to put it for me. When sometimes people say to me, "Don't you get tired of screaming it?" I'm like, I love screaming it. I get such adrenaline because I love to react. The same way people get that reaction with your merch and your music. I love getting that people, I made them happy. Like me screaming, he did it in person, or like he did it 50 times in person. And it's just fun to do, and I just got so comfortable with it. How are you when you're on stage? I know we talked about some of it, but is that a level of comfort for you? Do you get like super nervous before shows?
I mean, I mean, I started just playing guitar and Frog Mallet, and so I kind of got eased into it, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have to be the front man at first.
Yeah.
And so, got comfortable playing guitar and like doing my thing, figuring out stage presence and the motions. At first, definitely, I was nervous on stage and messing up my parts, and it
Yeah.
is what it is. And you get better, you get more used to it, you get calm. Really, the nerves are before you play. Before you play,
Right.
I always get nerves.
Yep.
But usually, the lights hit, completely calm, completely
Nice.
calm. You're doing your thing. You're in the mode. I'm a frog. I'm doing
Yeah.
it. And
Yep. That's sick.
the first time I did vocals for Frog Mallet live was the Bonanza before last year, that 2023 Bonanza. And I mean, it was all right. But through that year and especially being on the road and learning my set, I could perform my whole set with asleep.
Right. Yeah.
It's just I don't know what I'm saying. I've gotten a lot better. I've
You
gotten a
know,
lot better
it's-
and more comfortable
yeah.
with it for sure. And I've turned into a character. I try
Yes.
to really
Yep.
embrace
Right.
a character
I
and not
getcha.
be myself, because if I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna be kind of awkward, and it is a little awkward sometimes, but that's okay because that's who I am.
And a lot of times what I realize too, sometimes it's awkward in our own heads. Like we're doing stuff that nobody cared about, right? But to us, it's like everyone's talking about that now for the rest of my life. I can't go back there.
I watch like a set, and then I'm just like hearing myself talk. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm so cringe. But that's it. It's just
common.
me. Maybe and that's fine.
No, dude, it's common. Believe it or not, with me, I'll do the same thing. I'll be editing clips. I'll be taking stuff out. It depends on my problem is I'm either like that or I'm so overconfident that I'm just going to get myself in a lot of trouble every which way I can in my life, because I get that. And like you, when I go out, I'm like, I am metal horror madman. Switch turns on.
Yeah,
that's who I am. I get what you're saying.
It's hard to make it, you gotta make sure people know it's a character. I feel like maybe you don't, but sometimes a character can be seen as an ego, and then it's, this guy has a big ego, but it's actually no, it's just a character.
I've had, before people knew who I was, at a couple of places where I've everybody cheering me on. I'm doing all this shit. Let me drop Slayers. I've had a couple incidents where I hear, what a cocky asshole, or that guy sounds like a real dick. He's full of himself. Until like 2 hours later, when someone says, no, that's his character.
Yeah.
He's not really reprimanding people on the amount of Slayers they yell or how loud they do them. That would be psychotic, okay? That guy would need to be put away. But that's what happens. If they think they don't understand what you're doing, I've had that happen twice to me. And it's like, the first time I got kind of pretty pissed off and was about to start. And then the second time I said, no, just this will all work itself out. You know what you're doing. You're very lighthearted with this stuff. If people don't get it too, that's a shame on them. I don't care.
Yeah, if they're going to think you're cringe or whatever,
right,
they can think that. That's okay.
Yeah, and that's happened. As we know, when you create stuff, there's always going to be somebody, and you can't. It's something I try and tell every band. I don't have to tell you as you're telling it to me. You can't get caught up in that stuff. They get caught up in comment sections. They get caught up in what people are saying or some reviewer. And I'm like, I get it, because you do something that you really love and you see that one comment, it could definitely ruin your day. You could just get in your own head. But then you have to remember the 99% of the good people that like you. And even more important to me is I like doing what I do. I love doing it. If I could do content all the time, that's all I would do. Yeah, I don't know why I'm getting a thumbs up here. We got a thumbs up.
Hey, wait, do this. There you go.
You have the special effects on.
Awesome.
Doing all stuff.
Wow.
Look at me go. I could be dancing a disco. Where do you see this? We're going to have to fix this. I know what's going on. Of course, when Frog Mallet and when Sean's on, crazy shit's going to happen. Yeah. But no, all that stuff, it's like, I can't, when people get caught up in that, and it like, I talk about it a lot just because it just frustrates me to see the amount of people that quit either social media or bands or trying to become an actor or whatever they're trying to do. And they let those haters get to them. And the only reason they're hating is because they want to do what you're doing. That's all this is about. And they don't have the confidence that we have, because it is nerve-wracking. People don't know what we're really like. People don't know what our anxiety levels are, what's going on in our lives that day, right? You're out there performing. You could be having the worst day of your life. And I just wish sometimes people could just soak that in and go, do it because you love it right off the bat. You love it. And if you can help just a couple of people, if your content just helps a couple of people get through their miserable day, because a lot of times when we're having those bad days too, like it's not as bad as other people have it, right? There's people that have it really bad out there. So I'm glad we have someone like you that's like, I've had lineup changes. I've had to learn my merch by trial and error. I've had to get a vehicle I couldn't spend, and you just keep going. And most of the stuff is always positive, but I dealt with the negative. And you just have this presence where you just got that attitude. It's like, I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm going to be the best. And like it or not, I'm still going to do it. So I'm really glad you shared that, because that helps a lot of people that are just, they let those trolls and haters get in their heads too much.
You got to just learn to laugh at it, you know? If you can find humor in hate. It's hilarious sometimes. How people they're just stupid. They just don't understand. You're just like, oh man.
Oh, it's so funny, because that's what I do too sometimes when I see one come up, and I do laugh. I'm like, this is so hysterical, especially people like that wouldn't know some of our brands, right? That are really from the outside of that and maybe saying, look at how, and it's like, then they say like, oh, holy shit, these people are loved by a bunch of people. Like, we are really stupid and jealous, and we should do our own thing. But you just keep plugging along here. We said we got some stuff planned for next year. We got a secret tour. Can't wait to hear what it is. Gonna hit you up because I need some help with some stuff with some merch, and I got to go to the master himself. I could pay you in flies. I could pay you in whatever it takes. I don't know what frogs do or eat or do nowadays. But what else is on tap? Are we gonna get an EP? Are we gonna get a full album next year?
You're gonna get a full album.
Yes, we need the full album. We're dying for the full album, dude. I was just talking about it. I was talking about you at lunch today, going, I'm gonna bust his balls because I need a full album, and now you already said it's happening. That's sick.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be at least 40 minutes, right?
Nice.
A full album.
Yeah.
It'll fill a vinyl disc.
Yes.
Not just half.
Not just half.
It'll be ready when it's ready.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure it's good, you know.
Nice.
The feedback I've had so far has been all positive, so we'll say that.
That's sick. And besides that, you said Bonginator's gonna put out a banger that you have your hands in a little bit as well.
Absolutely. Bonginator's curating the man. It's one unique album. It's incredible.
He's still one of the most unique things, and when you see them live and that whole, like I was saying to him, I'm like, dude, it's like 1986 Van Halen, and then you turn into Blood Incantation, like just like that in a second. You're like, this is fucking crazy. This
album's super retro.
Really?
And,
dude, I can't wait. I can't wait. And you have your hands in that. Anything else that's coming up?
I mean, I don't know. I'll shout out Bonginator, Wretched Inferno, Matriphagy, Tunguska, Groaning Wretch, Infinite Misery, Funeral Frog Media. Any designs you need, any audio work, any mixing, mastering, recording in the New England area, hit me up. Funeral Frog Media on Instagram.
Sick. And guys, really hit him up, because go listen to some Frog Mallet stuff. Go see him live. You'll understand the passion he has it. And go buy the merch. I'm going to plug his merch some more, because I cannot. I was mad I don't have the merch now for the interview, but you're going to be invited back if you'd ever like to come back on, and I will be in your merch.
Dude, I would love to.
Sick, dude, because I got to tell you, this was a great time. This was a lot of fun. I really believe in everything about you. I appreciated meeting you up there. I got to tell you, that was a lot on me. I got dropped off there, like by myself on that road. And I was like, see you guys later. And I didn't know what the fuck was going to go on, who was going to be there. And everything was just so sick and welcoming, and that whole vibe. And you've got a great vibe. And I also, how we talk about Wretched Inferno, once this next album comes out and more music comes out from you, you know, you're not just a trick band. You're not a little trick. You're a sick, amazing band doing something no one else is doing at all right now. And if anybody doesn't want to hear this version of death metal, you don't know what you're missing, because it is just those vocals. It's so addictive because it's so fucking crazy, man. It's so crazy what you're laying down on there, and it all works. And I know for you too, that next level stuff, you've got your hand in everything in here. You're one of the most respected people in the New England death metal scene. We all are very, Very grateful to have you in it, and you're very real and very passionate. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for coming on today, but thank you for entertaining
us. Thank you so much for
us.
having me.
Oh, dude, like I said,
so much, man.
Whenever. I can't wait to see you again live. I'm going to be at a lot more shows this year. I'll make sure I come say hi. And just like I'm going to hit you up like you talked about. And if you never ever need anything from me, I love picking up the phone. So if you're ever putting something together and you need someone to be a little aggressive with stuff, this is your guy. Just let me know, man. Dude. I don't take no for an answer. That part of me is like the madman. So whatever I can ever do to help.
Need a madman? I got a madman.
You got a madman here. The guy's out of control. He'll walk up to your moms, to your wives. Fucking slay her! And then he will fucking slay her. Sean, it's been sick, dude. It's been great. Love you, brother. I can't wait to hang with you again. You be well. Ribbit, ribbit. Damn.
Thank you, man.
Damn. Thank you for that. That was sick, dude. That was great. Thanks for coming on for real, man. Yeah, we got the mallet. What an episode. What an episode. Another one in the books. The mighty Frog Mallet. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Oh, I wish I could do the vocals like he can do them, but I can't get to that level. What I can do is look good with my tattoos. One of the sponsors of my program, Porter Worcester Tattoos. He puts all his beautiful ink on me. I look gorgeous. You want to look gorgeous too? Reach out to Rich Green on Facebook. Drive out to East Brookfield, little town. He's got a nice little shop, great prices. I'm due for another one. Another place I want to talk about, vinyl. I love buying vinyl. I love buying some vinyl from Hall of Horror. Hall of Horror, what a store they are. You'll see them at festivals, conventions, go on Instagram. You could buy all the merch, VHS, video games, vinyl, t-shirts. He does some record production, some labels. And another one of my favorites is Creepin' Death Designs. Go to Creepin' Death on Insta. They've got all your patches. They've got your custom flannels. They've got everything you need. Go say hi at the festivals. You'll see the Madman hang at their booth a lot. We're pretty tight. Always fun to hang with the fam. I want everybody to have a great time. Support the scene. If you haven't heard Frog Mallet yet, you're missing something special, something next level. And never, ever, ever stop thrashing!